under Jssc program, Mr. Speaker. And as a Senate, Mr. Speaker, we shall not be cowed or intimidated by the National Assembly. You cannot throw away the baby plus the bathwater, Mr. Speaker. The fact that there is larceny, plundering, corruption, ineffectiveness, inefficiency, ineptitude in county governments does not justify us, Mr. Speaker, to deny them resources, Mr. Speaker. So on the issue of interns, I request, I'm aware we are supposed to hire 23,000. Let 46,000 be hired, Mr. Speaker. That fourth point, and it is good that a number of members of Energy Committee is on the issue of Kindaruma of being used multipurpose, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are having a lot of water. What is the Water Harvesting Authority doing? I saw in Makueni, all dams, water pans are full. But the Water Harvesting Authority are not telling us about the safety of those dams, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yours truly, I was the chair who investigated the Solai Dam strategy. In our recommendation, which was adopted by the House, we recommended that the Water Harvesting Authority check out the status and the safety of dams, water pans, and water gullies across the country, Mr. Speaker. If that had been done, there would have been no deaths in Mayomaya, Mr. Speaker. If that has not been done, the dams that in Makueni now you are thinking they are full, they can burst their banks at the moment, Mr. Speaker. So as we discuss this issue, I want to challenge the Kenya Power and Lighting Company and Ministry of Energy. Harvest water, ensure we get enough and sufficient, Mr. Speaker, electricity. So that, in fact, I expect this month, Mr. Speaker, and I know Senator Sifuna will be happy, that the cost of electricity will go down. Because we have had hydro energy that is a lot that now should allow the cost of electricity to go down, Mr. Speaker. And that is very important, even as we discuss the finance bill going into the future, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the water harvesting, the ensuring that we give the necessary energy and going to... And, Mr. Speaker, it is embarrassing in this city. It is raining, there are floods, roads are not passable, but there is no water in the tap. How can you explain? Even I know most Nairobians, Mr. Speaker, don't take shower because it's very cold. But the point I'm making, Mr. Speaker, the use of water should not be on the higher end, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of border, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for this indulgence that you have given to us today to commend success in a succession manner. The issue of border. Mr. Speaker, in where I come from, in Nandi, there is what we call protection fee. There is what we call watching fee. There is what we call stopping fee by traffic police officers, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask our Professor Kithure Kindiki, one of the best performing cabinet secretaries of our times, and I'm happy to be alive that Professor Kithure Kindiki is the Minister of Interior, to crack on the errant police officers who are harassing and imitating borders, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can you protect me from Senator Medhu? I know he might be on somebody's payroll, but he should allow me to make my submission, Mr. You have Speaker.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
I'm coming home, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and you know I want to remind of the famous song of James Hill. James Hill, he sang the culture that you have to be honest at all times. It's a reggae song, Mr. Speaker. Sang very well, and you know, there's more fire. Mr. Speaker, what I wanted to say in conclusion, in that part, the border should not be harassed. Mr. Speaker, can you believe you are harassed by police? You are harassed by multi-credit that you have taken along from. You are harassed by your wife, your girlfriend, everybody, Mr. Speaker. How can you survive as a border fellow, Mr. Speaker? Platinum credit is here to harass you. In fact, platinum credit are worse. When you are almost finishing paying for border, they cut your border disappears, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, our border people must be protected. I know sometimes, and I want to ask border people on a lighter note, please, as you take our daughters to school, please don't hide them for 4 days like what happened in Kitengela. We want them to be disciplined, let them do their job so that they are not due to parents. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I support it. I thank you.
Now, lastly, Senator Crystal Asige.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I will rise in support of Senator for Kakamega's statement on border sector. Speaker, there's no doubt that the border sector in this country has and continues to contribute tremendously to our economic growth. I mean, in the SME ecosystem itself, it has been the one major factor of many SMEs being able to do business easily, and to be able to transport their goods and services across the country. Also, Mr. Speaker,